Welcome back to Ottawa Experts, everyone, where we're continuing our conversation on how to use your artistic expression or your unique gifts to add light to the world. With my guests tonight, Camila Reimers and Alberto Agrasso. And we were speaking about consciousness. And it got me thinking a little bit about, you know, the idea of, do you really follow your dreams and follow your calling and only honor that and do what you love? Or do you try to love what you're doing right now? Because that is, like, for many people, their dreams sometimes seem so far away. Like, that it's just impossible to just leave everything behind and just go pursue that dream. And so, how do you do that? Or is it just simply, do you try to, where you are right now, try to love and bring that consciousness of light that we're talking about into what may seem a mundane and routine kind of job? Do you want to talk about that one, Camila?
Yes, I think that both are important, Moni.
I agree with
Yeah,
you.
yeah, because well, when you do what you love, is your dream, and you totally enjoy it.
Yeah.
But sometimes in life, we have to do things that we just don't like that much.
Right.
But it's part of our life. It's what we have to live at that moment.
Yeah.
Right? You know, I had the wonderful experience and luck to take courses with Thich Nhat Hanh.
Ah, Thich Nhat Hanh, yeah.
And to see,
spiritual teacher.
oh my goodness,
Yeah.
he's fabulous. And to see that man drinking tea and just being in the moment and being present on everything he does. So drinking tea, walking, doing dishes, cleaning bathrooms, it doesn't matter. But if your love and your soul is there,
Yes.
that's what it counts. And I think that just by being like that through life, you reach a point where you end up totally immersed in what you are supposed to do in this life.
I love that. I love that. Alberto, do you want to?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I really believe today, since a long while ago, that everything is lovable.
Everything is lovable.
Yes, I think everything, there is beauty all around us, there is love all around us. Only we need to raise our perception for to see it. Then to meditate, for me, when we meditate or when we center in the now, in the present moment, how is now is say a lot, is to try to find the beauty that is already there. It's not to invent it, it's already there. And I can be hard when you don't find it, that you try. Then we need to be patient with ourselves first, because that is the problem, that we look perfection everywhere and we start looking perfection in ourselves. We need to be patient with ourselves. We need to learn to love ourselves, to find love in ourselves, to find love outside. When you find love inside, it's much easier to find love outside. Then you can see everywhere.
Yes.
Then, of course, follow your dreams, because that is the path towards realization.
Yes.
But try to love the now, try to love where you are now. All is a process and never ends. Then enjoy it,
Yes.
you know?
Right.
Enjoy it, because there is a lot to enjoy. That is here, beautiful.
And about following your dreams, I read once a book that really impacted me. And it's so sad because I forgot the name of the writer, the name of the book.
Yeah, that's a little sad right now.
What was the message?
What was the message? Well, I'm sure maybe
That
I'll
is
come to you
important.
later.
But the message was very interesting. It stuck with me for life. And it's, you can't do everything you want, but you can do anything you want.
Oh, how interesting.
Because it's impossible to do everything you want. You don't have the time.
Yeah.
But you can do anything you choose to do and
Yeah.
anything you want. And in order to do it, you have to be totally in the here, in the now, present, and just, I don't know, I don't like to use the words to become obsessed, but that's what it is you are so present that you know that that's what you are here to do and that's what you want to do. And that happens to me a lot when I write my books,
Yes.
is to bring that passion and that enthusiasm. The word enthusiasm the origin is from Greek, that means possessed by the gods.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
And that's I think that is wonderful.
Yes. Is that what you feel when you're starting to paint as well, or when you're starting to create your work?
Yes, that is that. And you know, in some moments maybe I don't feel that,
Yes.
but I want to do it, or I need to do it. But in the moment that I start and I try to center in that vision or in
Yes.
that understand, in that consciousness that we were
Yes.
saying before, little by little you start to work and the inspiration comes. That is that research. For another part, yeah, what you were saying is very important. I had a sample that in my own life, you know, when I had that revelation with this book, I didn't leave everything and I went to the street to paint paintings. And, no, I decided to come back to my job. I had a dream now. I'm going to be an artist, and I'm going to go to courses. And if I have no time, I'm going to speak with my office. I'm going to say, you know, I'm not going to work more hours that I had in my contract.
Right.
And I'm going to find the time. I'm going to have the courage to say that first. And if they find me, okay, but that is not my problem. I am being authentic, and I am
Yes.
compromised with my dream.
Yeah.
And while I am reaching that dream of to be an artist, I am working on it, I'm going to enjoy my work in the office. I'm going to be of service. If people is coming, it's not bringing me problems, it's opportunity to help them,
Exactly.
to help people.
Because you were working as a
claim adjuster.
Claims adjuster.
That was one of the big problems that many
Yes.
people come with, you know, angry and sad. And, you know, I enjoyed that last 2 years that I was in the company until they fired me because they didn't know you need to work more hours like everybody.
Right.
They go, I'm not going to do that. But, you know, was time enough for to save money, and to grow in my art.
Okay.
But was the best 2 years that I had in everything, in my
Yes.
work, and I make a lot of friends. The clients were very happy with me. For this, they didn't find me earlier because I was doing a very good job. You know, but that is the point. So, have your dreams, follow your dreams, you give your tips to make them real, not only sit in the sofa to the dream come true,
Yes.
but while love whatever you are doing now.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and that is that.
And bring that consciousness, bring that love into
Exactly.
whatever you imagine to be a boring, unimaginative job.
Exactly.
I have an example that it just came to mind. I
Yes.
didn't remember this before. It's I used to be an interpreter for the courthouse. So it was very painful for me to be an interpreter at the courthouse because I had always to meet people that came from Spanish-speaking countries and that had problems, right? But I always tried to be there to support. I mean, you have to be totally, impartial, right? Neutral,
Yeah.
100%. But just the presence and to be there with everyone. And once I met a little girl that her mother had asked her to steal shoes in a store. And this little girl was crying and just telling me what happened to her and the way she felt. And I was there, and even though I didn't like to work as an interpreter, but I was there 100% and I was with her. Later on, I remember her story and I wrote a story based on that experience. And that was the first award I won.
Wow.
When I sent that story to a contest at Toronto University, and that was my first award.
Wow.
Yes,
What a story. So then for you, this artistic expression, this writing, is an expression of your spirit.
Right.
It's an expression of spirit.
Yeah.
It's who you feel you are
Yeah.
at the highest level, an expression of that coming through you.
Yeah.
Yes, and how do you see that?
I see in the same way.
Yeah.
Before I found my spirituality, I was expressing my emotions, my beliefs, what made me happy. I did a lot of fantastic fantasy because I want to escape of my world. Then I did a lot of fantasy, but there was a lot of sadness too because I was not really happy at that time, and you can see my illustrations as well. But that was good too, because was a way to express what it was hidden. Was my way to put it out. I didn't know at that time that to heal all that, you need to let it go too. So it's good to express, to look at it, to raise your vision and understand it, to embrace it and to let it go.
Yes.
And then it's the way that you continue ahead. But it was good in the way that was at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a way, as you say, because it is expression, you have to honor how you feel in that moment.
Yes.
And we may see things that may appear dark, like,
Yeah.
you know, movies that are very scary, or literature or artwork
paintings,
or
wow.
anything that is just very disturbing. And you go, well, what purpose does this serve, really? But it is an expression of where you are in this
Yeah.
moment.
Sure, to see the shadows, and,
Yes.
and it's an opportunity to learn from them.
Yes.
But I wouldn't attach to them.
Yes,
It's
how
like
so?
because if you attach to them, you become you get a habit to think in that way and to see life
Yeah.
in that way. You become depressed, or you can. And it's very difficult. You know, wherever you focus, I believe that wherever you focus your attention, you are giving power to that in your life.
Yes.
Then for that, I try to bring positive thinking. I try to bring light. I try to bring joy, and try to bring a higher understanding.
Yes.
And when I feel bad or whatever, maybe I express all that, but in private.
Oh.
It's a way to express in
Okay.
private, but I don't try to show it so much, because it's self-healing. It's a work for me. There are already many people that express their negativity openly. I choose to bring what I think can live.
And so your drawing is part, or your illustrating or your painting is your healing practice.
It's a part.
It's part of the
that
healing.
It's a healing, understanding, self-discovery,
Yes.
and connection with the infinity, or with the higher wisdom that has created everything, the
Yes.
higher self.
Yes.
All the things I will say that it is. Yeah.
And I imagine that that's the same for you as well, the writing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know, I know that both of you have done a lot of inner work, personal work, to come to this, to be able to sit at this place where we are today to speak about consciousness, and a consciousness of light, and of trying to bring love into the world, and trying to shift things away from being based in fear. And so what I want to, I guess, ask is, how has your writing brought you peace or wisdom or healing in some way? Can you talk a little bit about how that has happened? How your writing has influenced you, or even how you see yourself?
Yes. My writing is the way I process my feelings, right? So I'll give you an example with my second novel.
Okay.
It's called Three Lotuses in a Sea of Fire.
I read it.
I
like
read
it.
And that book tells the story of three women from three different countries, from Algeria, from Chile, and from Cambodia. Now, the story of the woman from Cambodia, and most of what I tell about the woman in Chile, is it's true, and it was so painful. It was so painful for me. The story of the woman from Cambodia is a story of a woman that sat next to me and told me. In a week, more than 10 people from her family and close friends died, disappeared.
Yes.
And she told me her story. So I just didn't know how to process that pain.
Yes.
I didn't know how to process the pain of many people, but specifically in my novel, of Chilean women that went through torture. I just didn't know how to live through that pain. So what I did, that even my partner now, he really laughs, because he says, you cannot even see a cartoon movie without crying, because everything is violent to you.
Yeah.
I wrote a very difficult book, a very painful book, because it's different to see the news and to see, oh, look at those immigrants, oh, 5 of them died, and okay, what's next? What's next?
Yes.
It's different to see that than to see it and process that information, and to feel and live through this woman from Cambodia that lived through the killing fields.
Yes.
And she was telling me that when her baby was being born during the war, the baby came without legs. And that was because of the bombs and the contamination and radiation. And she told me that the doctor said, oh, baby, no feed, kill baby. And she said, no, she's the only thing, is the only being I have.
Yes.
And I met the little girl and she, when they came to Canada. So just by writing, I was able to process all that pain. And it helped me to understand myself and to see the world in a different way.
And to understand other people too, no?
And
Because
to understand other
put you in
people.
the skin of other people. That is very important too.
Yeah.
And do you have an example with your paintings as well?
Well, with my paintings, my illustration and my writing, for me, for example, to write my diaries, I'm talking about writing, to write my diary, is what put me in to become a better writer, and was a way to organize ideas. And in writing them, and when I paint and I illustrate, my ideas become clear, and they make sense when they are there, while when they were here, without express, they were all mixed and confused. Then it's a beautiful way to develop your skill, but to bring what is inside of you and to see it from a little from far away and to make sense of that. And that, for me, that makes healing. That helps you to heal.
And so
yourself.
obviously you feel it's important for individuals then to explore their unique talents and their unique abilities and to find the means to express that through whatever it is that they are passionate about. Is that?
I believe so.
Yes.
It's very important.
Because for some people, baking a cake is the highest expression because they are pouring all of their love into mixing all the ingredients and putting it all together and then serving it and just relishing in the joy of people eating that cake. It's not just painting or writing or composing a piece of music or building a house, whatever it is.
And they are serving a healing cake.
Yes, they're serving a healing cake. Exactly. It's with love.
No?
Exactly. Yeah, and it's a very powerful thing. And so do you think every one of us has some kind of a unique ability, a unique talent?
Of course.
Yes?
And more than one. That happened too is that we learn when we were children, some people say, no, you are not good in this, or you're not. Somebody told me that your brother sing very well, but you know, and later with the years, a lady that was a teacher of singing, she told me, she put me to sing a song, and she said, but who had told you that you don't sing well? You had a nice voice. And then I said, you know, but it doesn't sound so bad. And that was the first time that I believed it, that I had maybe, you know?
Yes.
But we put our limitations. Somebody said, you yourself, you can explain about I am not a good artist, I cannot paint, I cannot draw, you know that.
Yes, I do know. I am guilty of that because I will absolutely say that I have no artistic ability.
Always.
That I cannot draw, I can't color, especially, you know, being with someone who does it so beautifully. And so, and my own daughter who just, you know, our own daughter who just draws so beautifully. And so I have had to work very hard on redefining what it means to have artistic ability and really look at it as expression. It's not about perfection. And I think a lot of individuals and a lot of, you know, people who think, oh yeah, I can't do that because I'm not good enough, stop themselves. And so there is that feeling of it's release of all of the pressure that we put on ourselves to do it perfectly. Now, I do have to go to break right now. We will continue. Please stay tuned as we continue our conversation after the break on artistic expression.